Hello and welcome to a Kingscast from the 9th National Boys Education Conference being hosted here at the King School. I'm Glenn Daniel. The conference title is intriguing: Strong Men, Soft Hearts, Sharp Minds. Let's see what all that's about. It all kicked off with a headmaster's dinner and a high-profile panel on one of the contentious issues of our day: toxic masculinity, initiated by author, journalist and on-the-night provocateur, Phil Barker.
Getting masculinity right is just not important for the quality of the lives and the happiness going forward, wouldn't it be nice? The very future of humanity and the planet depends on it.
Too many boys are seeing violence as proof of their manliness. I think we need our boys to look at a number of aspects of gratefulness for what they have. When we look deeply into our own existence and we see the things that we can and should be grateful for, it makes a deeper understanding for us.
We can focus until the cows come home on toxic masculinity, and it'll take us nowhere if we're not able to see that the picture is far broader and far more magnificent and far more dreadful than that simple prescription would have us believe.
We are worshipping created things, not the creator. We are worshipping sex, good but created; money, good but markets; power, self-image. We're not worshipping the creator. We've actually profoundly lost our sense of meaning and purpose, why we are here.
The conference began with a challenge from our headmaster, Tony George.
So what we're hoping to do over these 2 days is to have a conversation. First is to acknowledge that boys, physiologically, hormonally, as a generalisation, are stronger. And with that comes great responsibility. Boys need to harness their strength in ways that are pro-social, meaningful, significant, relational. And so you'll see in the topic of this conference is we're proposing that for strong men to be well-formed and well-directed, they need to have soft hearts and sharp minds.
Over and over again, the conference heard about a range of ways in which our culture and conversations are often toxic, with the growing mental health statistics of both our boys and girls. There was also the critical role of the teacher.
This is the most complex, difficult job I know, and I think the most important job I know. So I take my hat off to teachers, having tried. And when people say to me, "What do you regret about your life?" I often say that I never managed to be a teacher.
So what do sharp minds look like?
I think the most important thing with sharp minds now is how, in this toxic culture, in this post-truth, fake news era, you help sharp minds become discerning about what is real. What particularly troubles me with the fake news era is the attack on the very notion of truth. The sense that there is no place to plant your feet, that everything has become ideological, politicised, that we are in the echo chambers of our bubbles and listen only to our view. That is an age profoundly of anti-intellectualism.
And what do soft hearts look like?
Soft hearts is essentially about empathy. What if that was me? Soft hearts come through coming out of my bubble and meeting people who are not like me, hearing their story. Soft hearts is transgressing, crossing a border and understanding that another person actually has perspectives that can enrich you, challenge you, make you even a better person.
Another one of the highlights of the conference was Melbourne University psychologist and author Professor Lee Waters, who said the key to shaping boys with soft hearts and sharp minds is to build on their strengths. The professor also led a King's Parents Workshop.
I love doing my work with parents, because I think, as parents we have this opportunity, and when we take a strength-based approach, I always say it's like panning for a goal that's already there. You know yourself as a parent if you have more than one child. They each have their own unique sort of constellation of strengths and weaknesses. So the way that I work with parents is to say, just tune into your child. Where do you see them actively choosing to use their time? Where do you see their body language shift? Where do you see them energized? What do you not have to nag them to do? Because strengths are self-motivating. That'll give you a clue. And then once you're starting to see the strengths, talk to your child about their strengths and how they can play to them more often. Point out role models of strengths, put them into the right relationships, get them the right resources, get them the right experiences that draw on their strengths. And one more thing that I would say, which I think is so important, is strengths aren't just for the good times. And I think as a parent, one of the most powerful things we can do is connect our boys with when they're going through a challenge, when they're facing loss, darkness, adversity, failure. This is where strengths have the greatest potential to pull us back up, to reset us and to move us forward.
Amazing. Even just being in a new environment and in a new school, and just taking some time to sort of sit back and think about like why we're here, why we're teachers, and really get inspired again.
Give us a moment to step away from just the day-to-day operational aspects of what's going on to actually get back at what is the core of what we're doing. And let's re-centre ourselves on the sorts of key principles that are going to be guiding us through, these next days and weeks and years.
When we stop and think like this, what's in front of us is our little boys, and that's what we're doing, is we're building beautiful men from our little boys. That can't be written down on paper, it can't be programmed, and it can't be complied with an external set of standards.
This has been an important gathering for the future of boys' education and their character. Kings has been really pleased to play its role in developing resilience, rigour and relationships for all boys. I'm Glenn Daniel. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.